Have you ever found yourself in a situation where a tenant needs to move out before their lease officially ends, and you are unsure of the best way to handle it fairly and legally? It is a common scenario in property management, and knowing the right steps can save you a lot of stress and potential financial loss. The best practices for early lease termination notices revolve around three core principles: clear communication, strict adherence to your lease agreement, and thorough understanding of local landlord-tenant laws. Acting promptly and professionally ensures a smooth transition for everyone involved. The reason these practices are so crucial is because an early lease termination involves breaking a legally binding contract. Without proper procedures, you risk misunderstandings, disputes, and even legal action. Your lease agreement should clearly outline the terms for early termination, acting as your primary guide, while local laws provide the overarching legal framework that supersedes any conflicting lease clauses. First, upon receiving an early termination request, immediately review your specific lease agreement for any early termination clauses. These clauses often specify notice periods, penalties such as a reletting fee, or a requirement to pay rent until a new tenant is found. Next, thoroughly research and understand the landlord-tenant laws in your specific city, county, and state. These laws often dictate minimum notice periods, a landlord's duty to mitigate damages by actively seeking a new tenant, and how security deposits must be handled in such situations. Then, communicate clearly and in writing with your tenant, outlining the process, their responsibilities, and any financial obligations. Be sure to document every step, from the initial notice to the final move-out inspection, including all communication, dates, and associated costs. Remember, your duty to mitigate damages means you must make reasonable efforts to find a new tenant, even if the tenant is breaking the lease early. This active search demonstrates good faith and can prevent future disputes. An insider tip for property managers is to consider incorporating a liquidated damages clause into your leases. This clause predetermines a reasonable, fixed amount for early termination, such as 2 months' rent, simplifying the process and avoiding lengthy calculations of actual damages. This provides clarity for both parties from the outset. Another best practice is to always issue any notices or agreements related to early termination in writing, with both parties signing to acknowledge receipt and agreement. By proactively establishing clear early termination clauses in your lease, diligently following all legal requirements, and maintaining open, documented communication, you can navigate early lease terminations with confidence. These practices protect your property's financial stability, uphold your professional reputation, and foster positive tenant relations, even in challenging circumstances.